Shortly after I started making soap, I saw videos on YouTube of people making the so-called secret feather swirl. And one of my other hobbies is growing roses, and so I was thinking, well, what about a secret rose swirl? Could you make a flower with leaves under it in the middle of a soap? So just on a whim, I searched for secret flower swirl, and sure enough, there are some of those on YouTube. So I will put links to a couple that I found useful below. But the idea of this soap is to try to create a rose on a stem with green leaves within an otherwise white bar of soap. For fragrance in this soap, I'm using Nature's Garden's Fresh Cut Roses fragrance oil. I've used it a lot of times before. As rose scents go, it's quite nice in that it does not accelerate trace in a cold process soap, and it doesn't discolor, and it's a nice light rose fragrance. Then for the main batter, which will be white, I'm going to use Winter White Mica from Nurture Soap. For my red rose flower, I'm going to use Nurture Soap's Really Red Mica mixed with some of their Wine Red Mica and just a bit of their Raspberry Red to try to get a more or less true red color. And then for the green of the leaves, I'm going to use Nurture Soap's New Leaf Mica, which is quite pale yellowish green, mixed with some of their Green Vibrance Mica. Here's my recipe calculated on soapcalc.org. I'm using castor oil, coconut, cocoa butter, olive oil, palm oil, and shea butter. That should make a reasonably hard soap. It may be somewhat fast to trace, but in this method I'm thinking I'm going to want the batter a little thicker than I would normally use it. And as I've been doing lately, I'm going to put some sodium lactate in the lye to also harden the soap up a bit. I'm using my Essential Depot loaf mold, and I have kind of invented a hanger swirler. It is a coat hanger that I've put one and a part of another drinking straws on, so I can swirl with that. I have the batters mixed up, so I have a large amount of white batter and a smaller amount of green and red. As I thought this recipe might, it did come to trace pretty quickly. So it's a nice light trace at the moment, and I think that's probably good for this particular method. I'll try to pour this right down the middle. Cover that with some of the white. Do that with a spoon. In fact, I think I may spoon the color in as well, so it doesn't sink any more than it has to. Putting this white directly on top of the green, that tends to push the green out a little bit to the sides, and that's good. That'll, I hope, make leaves for this rose. I'll level up the sides as well while I'm at it. It's kind of strange for me. I hardly ever make soaps where I'm using them at this thickness of batter. It feels kind of weird. But I'm thinking it's just about exactly what I want for this particular recipe. See if I can pour that now. Yeah, I like that. I'll finish the green this time. Getting thick enough now that I don't think I need to use the spoon anymore, at least for the color. Making me a bit nervous that it may get thicker than I wanted before I wanted it. Trying to fill in the holes here just to make it more level. I think at this point I'm going to do the swirl. So I'll push this down the center to the bottom and then drag it to the side and up the side and out. With the dregs here. Trying not to go deep enough to mess with the flower at all. I think I'm happy with that. Here is the newly poured soap. I will cover this and insulate it overnight, and then we'll have a look at it tomorrow. Here is the loaf of soap fresh out of the mold. It came out very cleanly. Not much color is in the bottom. That's good. I just cut the soap into 1-inch bars. These are the tops. And the sides certainly don't look like a rose, but it is kind of plant looking. Maybe some sort of a ginger or a heliconia, I guess. I kind of like that. Obviously, I did not get my striping centered very well, but I don't think that's a bad look anyway. Well, that one's interesting with a big white gap. So I'm okay with that for a first attempt. I think I can improve on this pattern later in future batches, but kind of interesting for now.